Captured and Sketchfab webinar. My name is Alex. I'm the Senior Account Manager at Captured. And just for those who don't know, maybe tuning in for a webinar for the first time, aren't too sure about who Captured are. We were established in 2015, early adopters of Matterport. We got one of the first pro ones out of the factory, and we've been scanning ever since. So starting as MSPs, and then as our workload grew, we had to find a way of improving features and managing workflow, saving time from the back end. So that's how Captured was born, essentially. We sit under a parent company of Foria, servicing global clients such as Google, Facebook, and Netflix. We've also done some pretty amazing VR projects as well. And we also have a sales and development partnership with Matterport. So working closely with Matterport to build out their SDK and creating some awesome features for you all to use. We've also got a few technology patents on our platform. One of those specifically is AR Connect, our augmented reality feature. So feel free to go and check that out. We have a bunch of videos on there on our YouTube for you to have a look at. So that's a bit about our background. Just a bit of a background as well about what Captured currently offers. So we are an all-in-one content management system that's been built specifically for Matterport to increase the value of your virtual tours with virtual tour overlay features and also a few back-end features and services such as photo retouching, post-production services so we can create walkthroughs and highlights for you. One important thing to remember is we do offer a free white label solution. So if you are a Captured customer and you haven't set up your white label free yet, please let me know and we can sort that all out for you. We've got a few support pages on that as well. Bunch of other features as well. We offer floor plans in 2D and 3D, booking systems, client portals, scheduled automated analytics, and some property website templates, single page websites or one page websites, whatever you best know them as. So something for everyone to improve and enhance your tours and your back-end workflow as well. So jumping into the Captured and Sketchfab integration, I'll share some examples with you in a second and we can jump into the Captured Creator Studio. But just as a bit of background, we can now offer over 750,000 3D assets from the Sketchfab platform. It migrated directly into the Captured Creator Studio, both static and animated 3D assets, as you'll see in a second. And those can be imported directly into the Captured Creator Studio. If you have other files as well, 3D assets that you want to upload, you can now either upload directly into the Captured Creator Studio or directly into your Sketchfab account. The amazing breakthrough for uploading into Sketchfab is that we will auto-convert your 3D assets now. So Captured's native file type compatibility is GLB, but if you're uploading FBX models or any other kind of file types into Sketchfab, they can be migrated and imported straight into the Captured Creator Studio from Sketchfab and auto-converted from there. You can also edit the shadows and the lighting of your Sketchfab assets in Captured Creator Studio, so playing with the shadow angles and lighting and exposure, which I'll also go through with you as well. And another thing to mention as well, that I know it's something that a lot of you have been waiting for, is some new Captured menu overlay features. So branding and logo updates, enhanced media integration into our sidebar or navigation menu now. That includes photos, videos, both 360 file types as well, 360 viewers, documents, PDFs, floor plans, tenant applications for residential or anything else within different industries, websites and external links, and fly-through navigation is now available with deep links. So I know that some of you have been requesting this for a while. So really pleased to show you that now. All of these features are going to be launched later today. So you can log into your Captured account in the next few hours and be able to use all of these features. So let's jump into some of the good stuff. We'll jump onto Captured and we'll go into this model to view first. So we'll open this model up. We'll start without audio for now. So as you can see, this is an unfurnished apartment, and pretty much all of these assets have been integrated through Sketchfab. So if I jump into the Creator Studio actually quickly, and we'll go in through this way. So when that loads up, as you can see, we can navigate around. As I was just saying, most of these models have now been incorporated with through Sketchfab. So as you can see, we now have an animated human avatar within the space as well. So if we click on the Sketchfab icon on the left-hand side, I believe her name is Sophia. So as you can see, as we're searching for different models, there's so many different capabilities now and opportunities to upload all the weird, wacky, wonderful models that you want. So as I'm sure you all know, Captured has a pretty extensive real estate asset library, as well as commercial for office spaces. But this just opens up a whole another world in terms of possibilities, not only for real estate, but also for different verticals such as museums, galleries, exhibitions, etc. So what we can do is search within Sketchfab. We'll click on Sophia's thumbnail, and we will just move our mouse over and click to add her in the space. So within here, we can now obviously rotate, scale to whatever we need, whatever size we need to place her. Bit of a giant there. She could definitely be in the NBA. And be able to place them directly in a space. So the great thing about these kind of animated objects and the breakthrough with Sketchfab is that you can now pair this feature with other captured features from the Creator Studio, such as location-based audio. So if you're walking into a room, for example, you can assign audio to certain sweeps that when you walk in and see Sophia, she can give you a guided tour of the room or the property or the venue that you're in. So really important to kind of think about combining tools with other tools in Capture Creator Studio to create the experience and tell the story that you need. So I'll get rid of one of the Sophias for now. Loads of other things are searchable within the Sketchfab itinerary as well. For example, you can search for, IKEA furniture, for example, or even branded things like a Starbucks coffee cup, for example. So the possibilities are endless. As I said, close to 1 million models within here as well. So you can really look to, just adding what you need to within the space. An important thing to notice is that Sketchfab assets aren't auto-scaled like they are within Captured's native asset library. So as you can see, this coffee cup is significantly large. I think some of us could do with a coffee this large in the morning for sure. I wish I could, but that's just a bit of a warning. Scale that down. It's very easy and quick to do so. But yeah, you might just need to scale assets a bit more when you bring them in from Sketchfab. As I said, the possibilities are endless with Capture Creator Studio and the Sketchfab integration. What I wanted to show you quickly as well is this secret hieroglyphic door that's been placed through another Sketchfab asset as well. So as we walk through past the door, we come into a completely new space. So let me minimize these windows. And as you can see, you can create any spaces that you want to tell whatever story that you need to, and apply that information into the model. So this is a bit of a space theme in here. We have Buzz Lightyear right in the corner. We've also embedded a video on there that's available through our preview. So if I go into the actual model itself in the forward-facing version, and we jump into here. That's a little bit better. So then we can start playing that media embed on the forward-facing version of the tour. And just really kind of build this space. This was an empty room in an unfurnished apartment, now turned into this space-themed environment, which is really, really cool. So I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to space. Absolutely love it. Those are a few of the possibilities within Sketchfab. I'll jump back into here. And we'll jump into the forward-facing version, right? And just to show you, I want to show you another example of kind of Sketchfab in a museum, exhibition, gallery space. But you'll be pleased to know within these menu items now, just to quickly go through them, we have icons attributed to different menu items, the fly-through navigation. If we click secret room, that will now fly through straight into there rather than reloading the model, which I know that's been a big request for a lot of you. The ability to integrate videos, images directly into this navigation menu as well. So image viewer, in this case, a 360 pano within an iframe that you can view directly from the side menu. This is going to be great for drone images, etc. We have some 360 video in here as well. This is just a YouTube pull straight from a URL. As well as documents, things like that. So I'm kind of chopping and changing between real estate and also the museum gallery spaces just to show you these possibilities. PDFs for tenant applications, for example, within real estate. Floor plan integration now, so you can view floor plans directly from within the captured navigation menu, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we've enhanced the menu pretty significantly. As well as external website viewers. In this case, I've just integrated another drone panel to be viewed in full screen rather than that iframe. So yeah, very, very cool. Let me jump into another model now. This is more of a museum setting. So if I exit out of this, we'll go onto the home page, into museum, and we'll open up this model directly here. So this was an exhibition called Inside Out in Melbourne at the Melbourne Museum. And as you can see, sticking with my themes, we can click onto animals, for example, and we'll fly through straight to that specific point. So as you can see, there's animals within the actual exhibition itself, but I've also added additional Sketchfab models in. Animated models and some static as well. And you can see how these can now be used to tell your story in a better way, or showcase whatever you or your clients need to within the tour, just with a different immersion. If I move around here, these are some examples of some animals. We'll go on to the Egyptian section as well. So as you can see, this right here is this Egyptian tomb or mummy is within the exhibition itself. And then I've placed a couple of Sphinx cats next to it with an Egyptian vase in the center, also media embed just above it, to just kind of, curate the tour a bit more and provide the experience that I need to. So as you can see, there's so many different possibilities of models that you can integrate. If we now go fly through to space theme as well. So before we placed these models in, this was a fairly standard scene, right? There was a moon, which was like a white circle beforehand. As you can see, I can actually turn the staging off to show how it looked. And then being able to layer that with additional information, models, educational tools, maybe adding matter tags into the specific models that you want to give more information about. So yeah, very, very powerful tools. And yeah, pretty much anything is possible with the Sketchfab models to place within where you need to. We curated this menu a little bit more as well for this. So again, more 360 photos. This is kind of an Egyptian themed 360 photo with the Sphinx in. So you can see, you can view that in full screen as well. And, websites to buy tickets, for example, within this exhibition. So that will take you to an external website for tickets. We have videos integrated as I showed you before. So yeah, both 2D and 3D viewing capabilities within there. And again, to mention those PDFs as well. So a whole load of possibilities within Sketchfab and what you can do, and then also to enhance that further with our menu items as well is pretty cool. I can jump back into the Creator Studio side of things just to show you how the menu items work and where they're located. So if we jump into this same model, when that loads up, as you can see, we've added some new tabs along the top of the page. So next to tags is our overlay section. So if we jump into that, we can either choose from layouts, which you're able to change the branding and the overlay. So within Melbourne Museum, for example, I can change the banner style to solid or transparent, and you can see your changes reflected live in there. They won't be reflected live on the end user's tour until you press publish, but you can also preview as well, just to see the changes you've made before publishing there. So you can choose the banner properties, the different styles and the branding capabilities there. And then if we click on the menu item just to the left-hand side, here is where all the additional new features sit. So we can add in a tour location for deep links, for example, and we can assign a new tour location within there. Icons added in, we have thousands of icons to add to the side menu. And that's how you can place deep links, give it a custom title and name, other tours, web links in there to whatever URL that you need. And then also media as well below that. So by clicking image, you can either upload directly from your captured dashboard, or you can click the plus button to upload a new media image from a link and showcase that within an iframe, whether that's 360 drone images or just general photos from there. Same goes for video as well. So yeah, pretty easy to use, being able to upload a floor plan directly into here. Again, using the custom title, choosing an icon where you'd like to place that, and then you can just click add, and documents as well. So everything's sitting within the side menu here at the moment, under the overlay tab. This will be, I mentioned at the start of the webinar, but this will be available to everyone within the next couple of hours. We're doing the release this morning. So yeah, you can have a play around with this today. And yeah, start to curate and improve your models and add in all these wonderful features that you need to. Awesome. Let's go back into the chat. I'm just wondering if anyone had any questions at all. Awesome. Feel free to feel free to add any questions in to the chat as well as we're going. How is this priced? Pamela asked. Great question. So this is priced at the moment. Captured works on a credit system. So one credit is equal to $1 US. So if I just go back into the dashboard for a second, and I'll go to the homepage, we can click plus new virtual tour. And to incorporate a virtual tour costs 7 credits, so $7 US. That's a one-off cost. There's no reoccurring costs of subscriptions. Once you have the model incorporated into your captured dashboard, as long as your model's live in Matterport and it's not archived and it's still published, then yeah, you can keep curating your tour and coming back and enhancing it with no additional costs. So yeah, $7 US for a tour. That gives you access to the entire Creator Studio. So everything we've gone through today, and loads of other features as well, like location-based audio, custom tags, media embed integration, and everything else. Jose Herrera said, if you add more objects, the tour becomes slower. So yeah, that's a great question and something that's really good to touch upon. It's important to find a good balance between optimizing the tour in terms of the 3D assets that you want to add, but then also performance of the tour itself. So the more models that you have in a space, especially if they are animated and they're larger files, that can affect performance, but it does depend on the device that you're using and everything else. I'm just going to stop the share for a second so that we can jump into some questions. Yeah, so the answer, Jose, yeah, it does depend on the hardware that you're using, the internet connection that you have, and the number of models that you are incorporating in and what those models are, whether they're animated or they're static 3D objects. So there's no kind of surefire answer. But our developers are working on a performance gauge. So what that means is that when you place models into a space, it works on something called draw calls and triangle counts to ascertain how much information or data is required to showcase what you need, performing in a good way. So we're going to be launching a performance gauge, which is going to tell you when you're in the green zone or the red zone, maybe when you have slightly too many models in one specific space. But the performance shouldn't be that badly affected with just general staging. If you have 100 models in a space, yes, it's going to be slower. But what I've shown you then, I'm pretty sure you guys all saw that the performance was pretty good and nothing was affected in there. Kevin said, you said we can add our own 3D models. Yes, that's correct. Also, what has been the response from museums for adding items that aren't part of their collection? That's a really good question as well. So yeah, you can add your own 3D models either directly through the Captured Creator Studio, uploading your files in there, just making sure they're GLB, or you can upload into Sketchfab with any file type and they'll auto-convert when you search for them and bring them into the Captured Creator Studio. Response from museums. So we have done some work with other museums who have used custom models. So they've had designers draw up different models for exhibitions for showing and telling that story a little bit further immersive detail. So it really depends. It's dependent on what museum that you're speaking to, and it depends what items you want to add in. We've probably had a bit of a mix. We've added in kind of general Sketchfab assets for museums, and they've loved it. We also work with museums who have got 3D designers to curate their own models, specifically with the Australian Museum. We did a great exhibition with them called Unsettled, which I can share if any of you are interested as well. Francesca, hey Francesca, how are you doing? Great to see you here. Is 3ds Max a file format that is accepted in Sketchfab? Good question, and I don't believe so. I'm 90% sure that it's not accepted within Sketchfab, but I'll double check that for you and confirm after the webinar. I'll just share my screen again so we can bring up some contact details. Yes. So yeah, I think the key is to the Sketchfab integration is just to go and have a look yourselves and to play around with some existing models that you have in there and see what the possibilities are. I think you guys will be really, really surprised what you can include. We were also working with another gallery here in Melbourne who had a Disney exhibition. So we were able to incorporate loads of different different Disney 3D assets into the model as well. Stormtroopers, Aladdin, anything that was available on Sketchfab. Kevin's, I'll be very interested in seeing the tour you referenced. No problem, I can send that over to you afterwards. Hi Alex, I'm new to Captured. Is there an option to display before and after staging to our clients? Yes, there absolutely is. Let me show you a quick example. If we go into the museum example, we'll go into the residential one just because it's a bit faster. Perfect. So within this scene, we have the option to turn staging on and off as well. And you can have this specific option toggled on and off. So if you don't want the end user to turn staging off, they don't have to. This option can disappear. But with the option selected, you can just turn staging off and any 3D assets will be hidden. So you can just see it's an unfurnished apartment when you turn it off. So yeah, it's good for the end users to see before and after examples as well. Thanks, Fabio, no worries. Yeah, so just wondering, any other questions at all? Oh, we have a Q&A section here. Some great questions in here, actually. So John Rudy, is there a limit to how many objects can be placed before the smoothness of the tour is affected? Kind of went over this a little bit before, but it's all about a fine balance of the number of assets and how large those asset files are with performance of the tour. So as I said, that can be affected by the hardware that you're using, your internet connection, how many models you've incorporated into the space, whether they're animated or not. If you had, as I said before, 50 Sophias in this room, the tour would definitely struggle. But it really all depends on a mixture of those things. So there's no perfect answer. But as I said, we will be launching that performance gauge in the near future to show you how well the tour's performing when you're placing those assets in. Carla asked another great question. Can you filter models by poly count? No, not at the moment, but that's a really, really good question. We will definitely be doing some work on the search function and the filter system. So being able to favorite items and filtering models by their size and their poly count as well. is really important. So yeah, that's a great question and something that we're definitely going to be looking into in the future to just make it as easy as possible for you to curate these spaces, as well as being able to copy and paste assets, switch and mirror assets. I know Francesca and I have been talking about that as well in the past, to be able to duplicate those assets and be as efficient as possible within there. John Rudy asks, Sketchfab account and Captured account communicate? So yes, they can. So what you'll need to do when you first log into the Creator Studio is log into your Sketchfab account, and that will connect those two accounts together. So if you're uploading your model into Sketchfab, that can then be migrated and filtered through into the Captured Creator Studio. Just making sure that you're setting your model as public when you're uploading, and would be doing a support article for this very, very soon, just to show everyone how you can upload on the Sketchfab side to then have that pull through into Captured. So yeah, great question, John. Thank you for that. Francesca said, how did you add the space wallpaper to the mystery room? So if we go into the mystery room, so I used the image embed for this. So I used a pretty large image file type through our media embed function to be able to just integrate this image onto the walls, and then scaled it up so it matched the dimensions of the room and the walls in the room and the ceiling, to integrate it that way. So yeah, that was done through media embed. I was playing around before that with some Galaxy 3D assets through Sketchfab, but then realized this was a bit more effective just because the file size was a bit smaller and it was exactly what I needed. I used media embed for images on that one. Good question. Awesome, guys. Happy to answer any more questions. If there's no more questions now, we can always answer them through the Captured community Facebook group, so the CCG for short on Facebook. We have a pretty awesome community there where you can ask your questions, and we can get back to you with an answer and examples, etc. Another question's come through. Stephen said, what's coming next for the overlays? So yeah, great question. We have a whole range of capabilities coming for the overlays. We want to incorporate splash screens and loading screens, which is another important factor. You know, if you're having quite a large number of 3D assets in the space, just to kind of manage those end user expectations, we're going to be launching a preload splash screen, and we're also going to be launching pop-ups as well, which can be linked to payment systems and everything else within there as well. And just general enhancements, also sub-menus, which I know a lot of people have been asking for as well. So we are going to be concentrating a lot on the visual overlays part on Captured this year. That's where kind of our main priority is going, to be able to kind of build up these features, these overlay features directly for you. So yeah, loads more coming very, very soon. This is the first iteration. But there will be more coming very soon. Also, for media embed, going to be able to integrate YouTube files directly into there rather than uploading files as well. So loads of capabilities within there. Will a duplicated object be considered a whole new object, tables and chairs as an example? So yes, it will be, just because you're essentially duplicating the model and you're duplicating that file size and that file within the space as well. So we're always looking for magical ways to compress these files and have the performance, but also the quality of the models on point. But the short answer is yes, a duplicated object would be considered a new object when incorporated into the space. Thanks for that question, John. Avika, hey, how you doing? What would have to happen to make a tour with 100 assets run smoothly? That's a really good question. It's the golden question, right? So as I said before, we are balancing kind of the Matterport tour performance with incorporating and layering all these new features on to Captured. So I don't have a specific answer for you yet, but I'm very sure and positive, confident that in the future we'll be able to have 100 tours, 100 assets running in one tour smoothly. It's just building up to that. But yeah, there's definitely enough space within the tours and within for the assets to curate the experience that you want to. There's a whole range of animated assets in this room directly, and the performance is perfect. So yeah. Brendan, can you demonstrate how a window can be replaced to improve, for example, an ugly view? Yeah, sure. So let me jump back into here. I guess first off and foremost, we need to be searching for window view, right? And we'd be searching for a high quality image off here. Obviously finding the right size and scale. So it might take a bit long to do now live within the webinar, but I'll show you kind of the steps of how you do that. Choose one of these images, this for example, and save that to your desktop. And then if we jump into here, let me just minimize these for a second. If we jump into the Creator Studio now, what I would recommend for this one is Media Embed. And that's what I've essentially used to create those galaxy backgrounds within this tour. So that wallpaper, galaxy wallpaper on the walls, choosing Media Embed, pressing the plus button on images. So you can see all the galaxies here. So I can show you with this example of the galaxy wall if you like. So just being able to click upload and click whatever thumbnail you want for this. I'll just move this zoom bar out of the way. And then you can start to rotate the object and be able to resize that however you need. So being able to scale that up, for example, and place that directly on the wall. The same would be the case for that window view. So just finding one that is a landscape for this particular window, and then being able to just embed that directly onto there with whatever view you wanted. So again, like the file size of this is pretty small. So being able to layer that over would have no issues with performance or anything like that. So yes, that's how you can put that window in theory. Akiva, another great question. Is it possible to animate the lady to walk through the model with you? Great question. So at the moment, no, but that's definitely something we're working on in terms of avatars being able to follow you, or you being instructed to follow the avatar around whatever setting that you wanted to do from there. So yeah, that's definitely a future iteration that we wanted to do in terms of having these avatars or objects or whatever follow you. That will definitely be coming. And just to let you know, we're also launching a wayfinding feature on AR Connect that is going to kind of incorporate all these features within as well. So yeah, being able to follow an avatar or have an avatar follow you directly within augmented reality, as well as desktop version, is going to be a lot of fun. Awesome, guys. Thank you all for your time. I'll just wait maybe a couple of seconds if there's any last minute questions. We can also answer any questions through the Facebook Captured community group, or the CCG for short. We also have a 24-hour support team. They can be contacted at support@captured.io. I'm also here to help whenever you guys need me to. I'm just making sure there's no questions. Brendan just said, can the avatar speak to you when you click and roll over on her? So not at the moment in terms of clicking and rolling over on her, but as I mentioned at the start of the webinar, you can combine placing that avatar, the animated avatar, with our location-based audio feature. So if you are within here, for example, and we click on audio, whatever room that Sophia, this avatar's in, you can assign specific audio to close to her in a cluster, so that when you walk close to her, she can start speaking and instructing the end user with whatever they need to. So yeah, really good to be thinking kind of a bit outside the box and combining features with other features to create what you need. But definitely in the future, that is something that we'll look into in terms of being able to click or roll over onto the avatar to achieve what we need. Awesome. Here's just a little bit of a CTA for you all. If you haven't joined the Captured community group yet, please do so. And yeah, we'd love to get any of your feedback on our features, our webinars, whatever it is. We really value your feedback, and we want to build all the features that you want to use for your customers. Kevin just quickly, just asked, if Sophia talks, will she keep repeating herself? So you can have the audio on a loop, or you can have it not on a loop. So essentially what you can do is when you assign it to specific clusters or sweeps for location-based audio, if you move away from the assigned sweeps and move back to the assigned sweeps, she'll just continue talking from where you left off. So it doesn't start from the beginning again. She can start talking from where it left off, from when you left that sweep. So again, we want to do kind of all enhancements to this feature and really get it optimized as much as possible. So that's some more great feedback. Thank you very much.